Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my home. My name is Becky, and I am so excited that you're here today. Well, we are still pretty deep in the weeds around here decorating for fall. I know you're saying, Becky, that's a Christmas tree. Why do you have a Christmas tree up? But let me explain. We're going to have the most glorious, beautiful fall tree here in a few minutes that you've ever seen. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm excited to put that together. I didn't do it last year. We're also going to decorate this hutch with some of my fall dishes that I've collected throughout the years, and that's going to be the main focus of today's video. Now, if we have time to do other things, great, we're going to do other things because we still have quite a bit to decorate. We have the kitchen, the dining room, hutch, tree, and the front porch. So we're just gonna go until we fall out. That's what we're gonna do. If you missed the previous videos, we've decorated the living room, which included a beautiful mantelpiece scape, and I've got a beautiful shelf above my couch that I decorate. So that's all done. If you wanna go back and look at that, please do. They're already uploaded on the channel, and just go look at the playlist. But for now, we're gonna start on this hutch. I've got to go out into my shed and scour for some lights because past Becky did not look out for future Becky and put Christmas lights in with my decorations. So I've got to go find some Christmas lights. Just plain white is all I'm going to use. But we're going to start with this hutch. I've got some beautiful dishes I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. But first, I'm just going to show a little clip from last night. I took down everything off of this shelf, which was quite a bit. Now, we may bring some of it back because I do like the amber glasses mixed in with my fall dishes. It's all still sitting out where I can get to it pretty quickly. But I just wanted a plain, clean slate to start with. So that's what we're going to do first. So these are all the dishes that I pulled out of my craft room that are potential plates that we can use up in this space that we have here. My favorite, of course, is going to be this set here that I got last year. That's the set that I did use last year. Now, I specifically did not look at any videos or pictures of how I did my hutch last year because I didn't want to be influenced on how to do it. I wanted to kind of go in blindly and come up with my own plan. These dishes here are the only ones that are actually modern. Everything else is vintage. So that's the way I would like to go, is with my vintage dishes, but we may have to squeeze in some of those also. These are new this year. I just bought those. I use these plain ones for risers and accent pieces. And then I wanted to use this set here somewhere because this was a gift this year. And then these, I have 4 of these cups and saucers, was a gift a while back, I think, a couple years ago. So I have this set that I've kind of accumulated. So I'd like to use that somewhere. And if I don't use it in the hutch, maybe I can use it somewhere else. So I wanted to try to find a special place for them too. All right, so let's get, oh, and I also have these little wicker baskets. I like to use those as accent pieces too. All right, so let's see what we can come up with. Boy, we had some hard decisions to make. We had so many beautiful dishes to choose from sitting on that couch. That was a hard decision. I ultimately decided that I really loved my fall dishes. I got those last year, I believe it was last year, at a local antique store, and they didn't have a full set. They only had, I think, 5 dinner plates and then I can't remember, maybe 4 of the dessert plates. but I had some other dessert plates very, very similar in the colors. So I'm going to mix the two together and make it all work. But I absolutely wanted to use these on the shelf this year because they just are the epitome of fall, and they match everything in my house, and I just had to use them. So originally what I had planned on doing is having 4 shelves with my dishes, but when I went to go put everything together, I thought, well, you know what, let me do that top shelf with just some florals and just kind of help a little bit because I don't have a full set. And ultimately I like how it looks. I really am enjoying these little wicker plates. Now, if you don't know what these are, I'm sure you do. You very much do. But if you have a paper plate and you're eating outside or something, you just take these little wicker plates and you put underneath your paper plate, and it just gives it some stability. I have a set of 6 of these, and I had more, but I gave them away recently when I was doing a declutter, and I wish I had not, because I could actually use more for this display, because I am loving the top part of the shelf with the wicker. It just makes everything so soft, and it just flows so nicely with the stark white of the dishes. And then as we go down to the 3rd shelf, you'll notice that we had to bring in dark brown dishes because I ran out of the wicker. So I'm on the lookout to try to find some more because I just really love the look of that. I want to say real quick, if you notice that my voice is a little scratchy, I think I might be getting sick. I'm not quite sure if it's actually sick or if it's just the weather changing, but there's something going on. My throat is kind of sore, and I'm not happy about it because I still have the kitchen to decorate, I have the dining room to decorate, and I have the front porch. I had this week off to do all of this, and it's already Thursday, and I'm not even halfway through. I do not have time to be sick. David said it's the pressure changing and the weather changing because he's feeling the same way, but something's going on. I just don't know quite what it is yet, so just excuse my voice if it sounds a little off today. So I'm putting everything I have up here right now. I'm going to add everything I have because I feel like I should. But I do come back later and make some changes. I take a little down. I want you to look at the difference with all of these plates up here, and then a little later when I took some down, and let me know if I should put them back up, because I'm watching it back and it doesn't really bother me that they're all up there. I think once when I was decorating and I looked up there and I saw all that stark white, it felt like a little much. So I ended up moving a few of the plates down, but I might put them back because they're just so beautiful up there. And adding it with the wicker, it's just, I can't get over how pretty it is. I did do things a little bit differently. You'll notice we'll talk about that a little later. I don't want to talk about everything in the voiceover, but I did do things just a little bit differently by using the plate stands, and I'm enjoying that as well. It's just, it seems to be a little more dimensional looking, I guess. I will definitely do this again. I did have to buy a few new plate stands because I ran out, but I will definitely do this look again because it's just different, and it's not just flat up against the back of my cabinet, which is how I usually do it. It just seems to be more interesting to look at, I think. Every time I look up there, I think I smile. So that's always a good sign that you've done something that you enjoy in your home. We're getting to the point now. I'm going to go back up to the top shelf, and I'm going to add a few more dishes. This is what I was saying. I came in and I added more because, like I said, I felt like I needed to get all the dishes that matched together. So I was just kind of plugging them in different spots. So this is the part I want you to tell me, did I go a step too far, or should I have just left those dishes out? So I have never done anything like this before. Let me know what you think, if it's a little much. But normally what I do is when I put my plates up here, I use these little grooves back here that David built for me to hold my plates in place. So I've never actually set everything up with plate holders like this. I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie, but here's the thing. I just gave away several of these little wicker baskets. Now I want to go buy more. I mean, I literally just put them in my stash to go to the thrift store. I'm going to go to the same thrift store and see if they have them, because I think I need 2 back there, and I think I would like to put 4 back there instead of those brown dishes. What do you think? I think this part of up here with the brown wicker looks better than this part here with the dark brown dishes. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna go today or not, but we're definitely gonna switch out those for those little wicker baskets. And watch, every single time I go to the thrift store, they're there, and this will be the one time that I can't find them. But don't you think that those look better than those? For sure, I think so. All right, actually, I pulled a couple off the wall. You know, I use these to go behind my smaller dishes, kind of sort of like that, and I put them on the wall. So I've got enough to go down there, and that'll hold me over until I can get 4 more to go on that little shelf. But I think for sure the lighter wicker is gonna look prettier than the darker brown, but it's just gonna have to wait until another day. I wanted to do a closer up view of everything so you could see it, because I know it's kind of hard to see from a distance when I'm filming. I have changed a few things. I've taken down a few things. I've added a couple things. So it's not exactly the same that you just saw, but I've been kind of playing with it a little bit for the last 30 minutes or so, just moving things around, seeing if I like this and I like that. But all in all, I think it's very beautiful, and I think I'm enjoying it this year. Some years I enjoy my hutch and how I've got it decorated, and then some years not so much. A couple of years ago, the way that I decorated it, I just didn't like it, but I think the more years that I have it and I get to practice with it, I start to kind of learn how I like to decorate with it, because it is very large and wide. So just putting dishes up there in there, sometimes it's just a little boring. So I like to add some more fun things, but I don't want to go crazy, because then it becomes cluttered and overwhelming. So there's definitely a happy medium, I guess would be the right word, that I have to achieve with this hutch. Okay, so what I want to do next, I've got the lights on. I want to put these twinkle lights on there. Have you seen those viral Christmas trees that flicker and twinkle and everything, and they cost a whole lot of money? I'm going to try that effect with just some battery-powered fairy lights. I did this before and it was really cute. It made a big impact on the tree. So I'm going to add these next and just kind of make sure I disperse it perfectly even on the tree, because I only have one strand. Can you see the effect? I know it's kind of hard to see from a video camera, but in real life, it's actually pretty cool. All right, let's move on to the next step. I'm kind of out of sorts a little bit, because I haven't decorated this tree for fall ever, I don't think. I don't remember ever decorating it. And I haven't decorated a fall tree in a couple of years. So I'm a little worried that I've used all of my picks and stems in the rest of the house. I'm a little concerned that I don't have enough to fill this tree up. So I've got a box just for the tree. Let me grab it. I have quite a bit in here, but I just don't know if what I need is in here. I've got these little stems here that are really pretty on the tree and make a big impact. I've got some pumpkins to tuck in there, and I've got a ribbon or a bow to go on top. My hair is in my eyes. So I guess we're going to start with what we have and then go over to the table and see what's left over there. I know that bow's bad. I know it's bad, but it's all I have. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Do you remember this box that I told you that I can use for Christmas and fall? Well, I'm gonna start picking a few things out of here. I've got these little stems here that come from the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby. I'm just gonna spray them out and tuck those in. I also have some of this grapevine wreath that kind of wraps around it, but usually I put that on at the very end, and it kind of makes a little ta-da when everything's already decorated. I have these little picks here that are kind of like jute, I guess. I have lots and lots of little pine cones we can add in there, lots of pine cones. And then in the other box, I have all my little critters that I can put in there as well. So there's some pine cones with actual hangers on them, so I can use those too. So we have some things that we can use. We just have to make it come together and be pretty. All right, let's start with these little stems here. I'm just gonna spray them out and make them look like, well, they're pit berries, so they're gonna kind of stick out, and you're barely gonna see the little white beads in there or seeds in there. So we're gonna tuck those in first, as deep into the tree as you can get them, so they just kind of spray out of the side. Let me show you. There's a lot of green on green, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. But when you're adding these extra little green picks to your tree, it helps to pick some that is a different shade of green, so that they do kind of stick out and stand out. And also, you just want it to kind of stick out from the tree and be a different texture also. So that's kind of the point of adding these in, to give us a different color, texture, and just add some fun color too with the white beads. Now for Christmas, I use the ones with the red ones a lot, and they really do make a big impact too. Next pick I'm gonna add, just because I have a ton of them, are these little acorn / pine cone picks that come from Hobby Lobby. They're really beautiful and I love them, and I just kept buying more and more each year to add to my collection, but I just haven't found a place in the house to use them this year. Sometimes that happens, sometimes I change things up a little bit, but we have a lot of them, so we're gonna use these in the tree and add just a little bit of more texture. I love the pit berries in there. It's a little more of those little twigs coming out, and a pop of color also. This next pick I'm gonna add, I believe I got these from the Dollar Tree last year. I know I got them from the Dollar Tree, but I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but they really, even though they're dark, they really do make an impact when you put them on the tree, and you can really see them. You can tell they're from the Dollar Tree because they've got some imperfections, but I can hide them, and I think they're really cute. There's 3 acorns on each little pick, so I need to hide that little section there that's got a little bit of white showing, but we can definitely turn that around. They really do show up better than what you might even think in the tree. So I'm going to start tucking those in, and they're also the same color as these picks from the Hobby Lobby, so they kind of work off of each other too. All right, the next pick I'm gonna add are these. I got these from Walmart a few years ago. They just really do make a little bit of magic when you put them in. I've got them kind of spread out, and I'm gonna put them as deep into the tree as I can get them, so they just kind of poke out a little bit, I guess. All right, next I'm gonna add some pumpkins. These are the same ones that Hobby Lobby has carried for years and years. I assume they're still carrying them. I don't really know, because I had gotten to the point where I didn't need any more, so I haven't bought any in a while. But I know that they had them on the shelves several years in a row. So I'm gonna pop those in randomly, and just have them look like they're kind of sitting on the branches. All right, so as far as ornaments, I've got tons of ornaments I can add. I picked these up from a yard or a thrift store. I've got my little, I just dropped it, sorry. I've got all of my little critters. I've got owls and squirrels and birds and all the things. I've got these little velveteen felt ornaments that came from Hobby Lobby that were very viral. And I've got little acorns, which I might actually add these because these are very, very pretty. But I don't know that I want to do a lot of ornaments. I don't want it to feel like a Christmas tree. I just want tons and tons of picks and sticks and florals. That's what I want. So I think the last thing I'm going to do, I might put some pine cones in there, but I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this little stem that I have. I've had these for years and years, and I always use these last because they give you like that little ta-da at the end of whatever centerpiece or floral bouquet you're putting together, and they just kind of drape down the side. And I think that's going to be the last thing I add, other than maybe possibly I might add those acorns in there or maybe some pine cones just for filler and just for fun. But I'm not going to put a bunch of ornaments on there. So we're just going to tuck these in and let them just kind of pop out of the side and fall down, like drape down on the side. And I think they really do make a big difference. I think I got these from Hobby Lobby, but they came in a bigger bundle, and I just broke them up into individual little stems. And I use these for fall. I use these for Halloween, Christmas. I mean, whatever holiday I'm decorating for, I've used these for probably all of them. They just kind of work for anything I do. So I love these, and if I ever find any more, I'm probably going to buy more. But I've used these outside, inside. They've been around the block a little bit, but this is going to be the last thing, I think. And if you can see what I'm seeing, it doesn't really need any more. It's getting pretty full and vibrant and fun, and I think that's going to be finishing her up. All right, I told you guys a story. I do have to add the topper. I'm just going to use these little stems that I got from the Dollar Tree several years ago. I have 2 of them. I just put them together, tuck them in the top, and they do the job. That bow is so terribly bad. I can't even tell you. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my sister and see if she has some ribbon. I know she has some ribbon. She has 3 walls worth of ribbon in her little craft room because she's the one that makes the wreaths. And see if she can make me a quick light little bow and bring to church tonight, because that is atrocious and I should be embarrassed. Maybe I can FaceTime her so she can see the tree and kind of see the colors that I need. You just know that if you come back for the full house tour, that bow may not be there. I tried to FaceTime her, but I don't know what's wrong with the phone. I can't get her to pick up her FaceTime. But anyway, the tree is done for now. The hutch is done for now. There may be changes if I can find the things I want to add, but that's the beauty of decorating before shopping, is you can realize or figure out what you need and come back and add it later. But I think it's awfully pretty, and I'm going to clean up. I'm going to end this video for today and pick up tomorrow in the dining room, probably the table, maybe a couple things on that little shelf on the top, nothing major. I'm mostly going to focus on the dining room table and my blanket ladder. And if we have time, we'll squeeze the kitchen in too, because honestly, I like to just finish everything up in one video and then dedicate one video to the outside on the porch and then be done. So that's the plan. I've got a lot to clean up today because I have drug everything out of everywhere to do this video today. I've pulled all I still got all these dishes over here out on the couch. The floor's a mess. It's a mess in here. We got to clean up. It's getting close time to start thinking about dinner and going to church and doing all the things. So I'm going to end this video for now. As always, I do thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your day with me. It means the whole world. And until next time, I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.